Everybody, it's Joan here. So, a lot of things to talk about this morning. Here I am for a walk with Destress. Yay! We haven't had one in the past little while. Actually, it's been over a week because I had to go get a test, and my body does not adapt to tests that involve my bowels very well. I have a disease in my colon, in my bowels, and I've had it all my life, and I've never complained about it. I just worked past, come on, let's go. Worked through it, found out what's better for my digestion, and come on, let's go. And never really worried about it. And now I found out, that that cannabis actually helps with a lot of digestive disorders or diseases. So that's pretty cool. As many of you know, come on, Ben. He's gonna stop and sniff everything today because we haven't gone in a while. As all of you know, I'm a big believer on, well, if you follow me, you do, on cannabis, because it has helped Matt a lot with his epilepsy and his disabilities and stuff. It's pretty amazing stuff watching it happen. But anyway, so for the past while, we had to put our little dog down, which was very sad. He was pretty old and he was pretty sick, so it comes that time when you have an older dog and it's time to do that. And it's pretty sad. And I had my colonoscopy, which kept me pretty much bedridden for a while. And because it irritated my stomach, which creates a lot of pain and a lot of weirdness that happens. But I didn't realize it was going to do that, and I won't get another one. But my dad ended up with colon cancer when he was 60, so my doctor said I should get it done just to check, even though I knew that there's nothing wrong with it. So trust your instincts. Find out if there's a different test you can do. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but and we found a new place to live, so that's exciting. Wonderful stuff happening. You know, a lot of times I go to bed and I listen to positive things while I'm sleeping. And I did last night, and I came up with so many awesome things while I was sleeping that it helps me with my creativity and my and like just de-stressing and stuff, because there's been a lot of, my body really, everybody's body reacts to stress, and it was a pretty stressful couple weeks with the stomach issues and the puppy heading over the Rainbow Bridge and looking for a new place, and well, that's been a few months, but so it's been pretty stressful, and I've been working on de-stressing nonstop. But, you know, when you hang around with other people who really do get stressed, and you got to take care of you, and sometimes it's not as easy. Sometimes, you know, when everything kind of just comes down on you, you just, and so doing that, look at that back road. That's where I get to walk today. Well, that's my normal road in the fall. It's beautiful. And for me, I haven't had any issues like what I'm going through right now for many, many, many years, because I've de-stressed myself. I've worked on myself enough to know. And sometimes something like this comes out of the blue, and all of a sudden, you know, but I can look back now and see what I did to attract this, all of this. So instead of just going for a colonoscopy, I fought it. I knew it wasn't going to be a good thing for my stomach and my body. But instead of saying, you know, I don't really want to go, I listened to everybody else and went. And I made it worse than it could have been. So I know I attracted everything that I want to show you. Look how beautiful that is. The sun's coming up. Oh, wow. I don't know if you can see this, but look at that fog on the top, the mist on the top. Whoa, beautiful. And so I know where I attracted, where I attracted all the stuff that I'm going through in my body, because I was not my loving, caring self about what I was going to go through. I got nervous about it, worried about it, stressed over it, and of course with my little dog got sick and sicker, and me having a hard time deciding on when it's going to be the right time. That's, if you have an older dog who's ill, that is the hardest thing to decide. When's the time? So I had to make that decision and go through the colonoscopy, like I said, and the stress of moving and all that, and everybody else's stress on top of that. And so I found myself really not paying attention to me, and not being more loving, and not being okay with everything that was going on, and allowing it to just happen and fall into place. And the more we went to see houses, and the more, right now it's a seller's market, and of course when it's a seller's market, the landlords that are renting, they also have their market, because then prices are high, so prices for rent go high. It's an endless cycle. But so they get to pick and choose, and there are a lot of people in the area that I'm looking for houses. So it was like going and looking and falling in love with a house, and then not getting it because, you know, we're all worried about whether or not we're going to get it, and, you know, bad habits come back and replay on and on and on. And then it goes, right? And then you blame the people you're with instead of taking responsibility. And, you know, it just goes on and on and on. But what I learned was, as I look back, I realize that, first of all, number one is I didn't take responsibility for myself. I blamed everybody else for what was happening. My doctor for wanting me to go, my family for wanting me to go, you know, and I didn't take responsibility for, you know, all of it. I could have at any time said, not interested, don't want to do it. But, you know, I mean, it was good. I got to go. I got to find out I'm healthy as can be, other than this thing that I know that I had all my life, as far back as I can remember. When I was a kid, I was in the hospital on IV fluids because I had irritable, it's not irritable bowel syndrome, but I did have an irritable bowel. Come here. And come here. Come. Car coming. So I didn't take responsibility. Sorry, there were cars coming by. Keep bent to the side. I didn't take responsibility for me. That was the number one. And it's something you definitely have to do. No matter who is around you, you have to take responsibility for you. You get to choose the thoughts that you are thinking, and you get to choose the feelings. And being empathetic, now let me tell you, being empathetic, I'm very empathetic. So sometimes I feel, like really feel, what people are feeling. So sometimes being around other people is not a good thing. But what I could do is get away from them. You know, go to a different room, do something different. Come on, buddy. Occupy myself and know that, okay, this is theirs and not mine, because I'm not thinking these thoughts. But sometimes what happens is when I allow myself to get so stressed, like I had done with my poor puppy, the colonoscopy and pain, worried about it first, the move and all that other stuff, is I don't pay attention to what other people are feeling. So I allow it to become my own and get all stressed out myself. So this, looking back at just this last month, I learned I need to take more responsibility for myself. I have to be aware of the stress that I'm carrying on me and allow it to go away faster, and to be aware on whether or not they're my emotions or somebody else's. And if they're mine, work on them, or let them go, even if they're somebody else's. I don't need to carry on and wonder why I'm feeling this way. I can just go, you know what? I want to choose better thoughts. I want to choose a better feeling. I want to choose to be in love instead of be worried about what's going to happen. I want to choose to be grateful that I had this time with this little guy instead of making him suffer and worry about what's going to happen, or I want to be in love with the fact that I'm moving into a new home and allow it just to happen. And let me tell you, when I did that, when I allowed it just to happen, it happened. Just like that, it just happened. Magically, we were looking at a different house, and then we saw the other one, and then we were like, oh, we really like this one. And so then it happened, and we got the house, right? And it just happened magically, okay? So sometimes you don't know what's going on or what's going to happen, but if you stop forcing yourself to do it differently, or the way you used to do it, fearful and stressful and anxious, and you just put responsibility on yourself, remembered that love heals all, and everything is working out for you, it's amazing how fast it will. So those are my advice for this morning, is just take it easy, allow things to happen and don't try and force them. Take responsibility for yourself, and don't stress. Let go of all the stress. De-stress yourself, because you're worth it. Make an amazing day, everybody.